my sister!
Soon, the sun will set on the age of man.
You've really become quite an inconvenience for me.
What are the hallmarks of a great villain? What makes an antagonist great, memorable, and impactful? Well, it depends on who you ask, really. But I think we can all agree that a truly magnificent villain must be complex and charismatic, possess a formidable presence, significantly impact the story, evolve over time, and leave a lasting legacy. They should challenge the protagonist in meaningful ways, have a distinctive design, evoke fear and attention, and inspire other antagonists. All these things lead to a villain that can captivate players, enhancing the entire gaming experience while leaving behind an indelible mark and carving a legend. In the Resident Evil series specifically, they lead to Albert Wesker. From his enigmatic origins to his menacing presence throughout the franchise, Wesker has established himself as not just the most iconic antagonist in the series, but also one of the greatest villains in all of gaming. But how did this happen? How did he become such a memorable and beloved villain that has yet to be surpassed or even matched in this franchise? Let's dive deep into his dark and fascinating journey. Albert Wesker made his debut in the original Resident Evil game released in 1996 as the leader of the STARS Alpha team. At first, he seemed like a dedicated, stoic, and respected commander that was doing his best to look out for his team. However, his true intentions were gradually revealed as the player uncovered his betrayal and web of lies. His role in orchestrating the horrors within the Spencer Mansion and his shocking revelation as an agent of the Umbrella Corporation laid the foundation for his character as a mastermind manipulator with great ambitions that would stop at nothing to get what he wanted. This initial portrayal of Wesker was enhanced significantly in the 2002 remake of this original game, where his cold, calculating nature and sinister motives were explored in greater detail, providing a richer narrative experience and making his betrayal even more impactful. It helps that the music and dialogue were vastly improved, adding a layer of seriousness and impending dread that was not present in the original game, at least not to the same degree.
This is the ultimate life form. Tyrant! Rick? Stop it.
His betrayal was cut short when the T-002 Tyrant he set loose on his former comrades turned on him just as he was admiring its quote-unquote magnificence. At the time, this seemed like the end for Wesker. But of course, it wasn't. In fact, his story was far from over. His next appearance would be in Code Veronica, released in the year 2000. His survival was both surprising, to say the least, and unexplained, especially since the Spencer Mansion self-destructed. The mystery surrounding his unexpected survival would endure for years, until Resident Evil The Umbrella Chronicles released in 2007, shed light on the matter, revealing that Wesker injected himself with a prototype virus before the pivotal moment that led to his demise, granting him the ability to come back to life. Hence the title of this chapter, Rebirth. And he didn't just revive, he also got superhuman abilities which allowed him to escape the destruction of the mansion. This resurrection marked a monumental moment in Wesker's evolution, since he went from a mere antagonist to a near unstoppable force. Wesker's return in Code Veronica further cemented his status as a central villain in the series. Here, his new abilities were on full display, showcasing his enhanced speed, strength, and regenerative capabilities. His confrontations with Claire and Chris Redfield were intense and memorable, highlighting his superiority and deepening his vendetta against them. Especially Chris, who would go on to dedicate quite a bit of time and effort into hunting down Wesker, including getting buff enough to punch boulders into submission. The iconic fight against him in the Antarctic facility, where Wesker's speed and power were fully unleashed, remains one of the most gripping moments in the series, emphasizing Wesker's transformation into a superhuman threat that was beyond any normal human or even any normal bioorganic weapon, since he had something most of them don't. A cunning, sharp mind capable of planning, calculating, and carrying out anything with exacting precision. Wesker made brief appearances in Resident Evil 4 as the mastermind behind Ada and Krauser and their quest to retrieve the Las Plagas sample that Wesker needed to fulfill his ambitions. While his role in this game is far from prominent, it still showcased that Wesker always had a hand in every ensuing nightmare. Even when he wasn't directly involved, his influence could always be felt. Resident Evil 5 elevated Wesker's character to new heights. As the primary antagonist, his plan to unleash the Ouroboros virus and his ultimate showdown with Chris and Sheva Alomar were pivotal to the game's narrative. The climactic battle in the game's final act, set within a volcano, is a testament to his enduring impact on the series. Wesker's imposing presence, charismatic villainy, and his final desperate fight against those that aimed to stop him once and for all are unforgettable, as are every conversation and moment leading to it, cementing him as a legendary antagonist. Additionally, this game truly showcased just how powerful Wesker is. Chris and Sheva honestly stood no chance against him. They were only able to turn the tables by, well, cheating. Otherwise, the unstoppable whirlwind of chaos that is Wesker would have swallowed them right up. This game, of course, also marks his final canonical appearance in the series, since he met his demise, this time for real, at least as far as we know, at the hands of Chris and Sheva, successfully, and unfortunately depending on who you ask, ending his presence in the series, though his influence would be far from gone, which is truly a testament to his legacy. Even in death, his shadow would continue to loom high over the series. The remakes of Resident Evil games have also enhanced Wesker's character. The Resident Evil 4 remake specifically. It expanded his interactions with Ada Wong in the Separate Ways campaign, adding depth to their complex relationship. These interactions showcased Wesker's manipulative nature and his ability to control and influence others to achieve his goals without having to dirty his own hands. The improved graphics and voice acting in all remakes have made Wesker's character even more compelling. allowing new generations of gamers to experience his villainy in a more immersive way. Wesker's appearances aren't limited to the mainline games either. His role in Resident Evil The Umbrella Chronicles and The Dark Side Chronicles provided fans with more backstory and context, enriching his character further. Additionally, even main series games after RE5 made clear references to him. RE6 featured his son Jake confronting and shouldering the steep burden of having such a legendary villain as his father. This led to a particularly memorable interaction with Chris. In Jake's eyes, Chris is his father's murderer.
Tell me, we just following orders? Or was it personal?
Both.
RE7 and RE8 would reference Wesker through the Albert I series of handguns, which were built using a design made by Wesker himself, based on his classic samurai edge, and named after him. One of the most compelling aspects of Wesker's character is the intense and memorable encounters he provides. For example, his showdown with Chris and Jill in Lost in Nightmares is a masterclass in tension and drama. The tight corridors, Wesker's taunting dialogue, and the sheer difficulty of the battle create a standout moment that showcases his cunning and physical prowess. Similarly, his battles in Code Veronica, particularly the brutal confrontation with Chris in Antarctica, are iconic for their high stakes and emotional weight. One of the key elements that make Wesker so compelling is his playability in various games. In Resident Evil 4's Mercenaries mode, his ability to yeet opponents with his superhuman-powered palm strikes is quite memorable and satisfying. In Resident Evil 5's Mercenaries mode, players can experience a less exaggerated though more stylish version of his immense power. However, it's the remake of Resident Evil 4 that takes the cake by far when it comes to letting you feel unstoppable when playing as Wesker. Not only does he leverage the game's parry mechanic wonderfully to be basically untouchable, but the ability to just go ham on hordes of enemies, tearing them apart mercilessly barehanded with super speed, all while brandishing arguably Wesker's most iconic look, red eyes through sunglasses, makes for what is easily one of the best gameplay experiences in the series. Certainly the best for Wesker. Regardless of the game though, the power fantasy of controlling Wesker, complete with his superhuman abilities, not only makes for a fun and thrilling time, but also allows players to appreciate the extent of his capabilities from a first-person perspective. He is truly overpowered. His unique weapons and movesets, including his lightning-fast dashes and powerful strikes, make playing as him an exhilarating experience. Wesker's role as a puppet master, manipulating events from the shadows, adds another layer to his character, showcasing his ability to be a prominent villain on and off screen. As stated before, his orchestration of events in Resident Evil 4, where he employs Ada Wong and Jack Krauser to retrieve a sample of the Las Plagas parasite, highlights his strategic mind and far-reaching influence. The world is basically a chessboard for him, and everyone else mere pawns in his game. Again, the expanded interactions between him and Ada in the remake of Separate Ways further illustrate his manipulative prowess and his ability to bend others to his will. Moreover, Wesker's tragic backstory, revealed through various documents and files scattered throughout the games, add depth to his character. His upbringing within the Umbrella Corporation's eugenics program, his relationships with other key characters like William Birkin, and his ultimate goal of creating a new world order provide insight into his motivations and ambitions. These elements make Wesker not just a villain, but also a complex and multifaceted character. His conversation and confrontation with Spencer in Lost in Nightmares, which is extremely memorable, feels like the culmination of his backstory. Everything he had been through came back full circle. Having become what Spencer yearned for, or at least very close to it, Wesker put an end to one of the minds behind the very corporation that began everything and him, closing a chapter of his life in the process, while clearly marking that in some ways he was able to fulfill the very purpose he was engineered for, but in his own way, for his own purpose. And now he will go on to accomplish his own ambition. Ironically, basically the same one Spencer had. Wesker's charisma, style, and presence have also left a significant impact on the franchise and its fans. His signature sunglasses, cold demeanor, and iconic catchphrases like
Ouroboros will be released into the atmosphere, ensuring complete global saturation.
and
Your feeble attempts only delay the inevitable. The entire world will be infected. A new genesis is at hand, and I will be the creator.
and
7 minutes. 7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
have become synonymous with the series. His character embodies the quintessential villain, intelligent, ruthless, and relentless, making him an enduring figure in the world of Resident Evil and gaming as a whole. Albert Wesker's journey from a seemingly loyal STARS captain to a superhuman mastermind is a testament to the ability of this series to create compelling and enduring antagonists. His evolution, marked by memorable encounters, intricate relationships, and a deep, multifaceted backstory, has cemented his status as not just the best villain in the Resident Evil series, but also one of the greatest in gaming history. His legacy continues to inspire new villains and captivate fans, reminding us of the powerful impact a well-crafted antagonist can have on a story. His legacy is so big in fact that I just don't see any villain in this series ever coming anywhere near close to matching him, both in terms of impact and iconic value. I've said this before, while contentious, I would totally be down if the inevitable remake of RE5 chooses to let Wesker live instead, allowing him to continue to grace this series and thus with his unforgettable presence for years to come. Albert Wesker, master manipulator, charismatic scoundrel, unstoppable superhuman force, badass puppeteer, stylishly evil, legendary villain. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know how you feel about Wesker and why in the comments below. Also, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more Resident Evil. Plus, check out some more videos just like this one by clicking the links on screen and in the description below.